In this video, we have got a 160 plus kill game on Devastation Conquest using the Sturmgewehr 1.5 and the Lewis gun. As always, stick around in this video. In just a moment's time, I'll flash up the specializations for both of these guns, which are used in this specific gameplay. And after that, we'll get into a few different points in terms of how I actually managed to achieve this 160 kill game. Smash a like for me on the video. If it hits 40 likes within the first 48 hours, I'll release a bonus video on Wednesday or Thursday, a full no commentary 100 game. But in terms of the specializations, you can see I'm on all right on the specializations for the Sturm, and for the Lewis gun, I'm on 1 on the right and 3 on the left. So let's first talk about all the different factors that contributed to me being able to get the 160 plus kill game. As usual, when I'm going for, 100 plus kill games, I do need to have a good and consistent, throughout the course of the entire game, performance to be able to hit any 100 kill game. Obviously, this is a lot higher, being at 160. But the main, factor, of course, is me playing well. To what I would normally do, be getting probably 100 to 120. So where's that extra 30 to 40 kills come from? What other factors contributed to that? So the main biggest factor is going to be the game balance. Now, of course, I had to get 160 kills to make sure the game was balanced. However, and unusually for Battlefield 5 at the moment, the game was balanced right down to the last 5 minutes of the game, which is about 5 to 10 minutes longer than the Devastation Conquest normally lasts. For me, an extra 5 to 10 minutes is usually going to be an extra 30 to 40 kills, and that is the main, contributing reason why I was able to push the score, or push the kill tally up to the 160 mark. In addition to this, the way that the enemy team was playing also was the main reason why the game was balanced and why it lasted longer. So pretty much the whole enemy team was sticking together, the majority of them, and that is the main reason why at the end of this clip in just a second you see me change to the Lewis gun. So I started off the game with the Sturmgewehr 1.5. I wanted to try a different specialization tree route using the light and stock and trying a more aggressive approach with it for once, just for the sake of having fun. And I was just basically getting outgunned all the time, with the 30 rounds of the Sturm not being enough because the whole enemy team was staying together. So I pretty much changed to using the Lewis gun, obviously the highest ammo capacity gun you can actually run around, running gun and aim down your sights with, besides the MMGs, to be able to try and take on these massive swarms of enemies. As well, I was trying then, because I was getting swarmed, to try and push back like I'm doing here and keep a distance between me and the large groups of enemies, which were obviously going to be revive training, if you like, as a term. And I would constantly be getting overwhelmed if I didn't keep a gap between me and the enemies, which allowed me, when needing to reload, to be able to reload safely before getting pushed onto. So that's a few factors already there which contributed to it, as well as the reasons why I was changing between the Sturm and the Lewis gun. I would also add, I was mainly using the Lewis gun on this side of the map, between D flag and C flag, because that main power route I always talk about, which is up in that building there where I'm aiming, which pretty much is a route which connects C to the spawn flag on the British side of E. Basically, you've got a lot of different high ground points, which is here, the window which overlooks E, and across to my right, which overlooks the main entrance on C. So with the Lewis gun, there's a lot of really good mini power positions here which you can just hold, and I've not got to do a lot of running and gunning and worry about using a heavy weapon and trying to obviously aim in fast first and beat all the medics and SMGs, etc. that are running around together in large squads. Hence why you can see now I've changed back to using the Sturm when I'm pushing onto C flag, because I need to be a bit more aggressive and move around a lot more to find enemies, to get kills, and of course to try and get behind different points of cover when engaging these larger groups of enemies. So that's my main reasons for chopping and changing. But I guess the final and additional main factor is going to be the Lewis gun, which contributed to me being able to get the 160 kills, because you hardly have to reload with it and you can take out enemy after enemy after enemy, and the large magazine capacity of 97 rounds effectively means you can fight off every single possible enemy, even up to 8 to 10 enemies before needing to reload. So the chances of you dying a couple of times throughout any game with the Lewis gun is much lower, because you're less likely to get caught out while reloading, because you have confidence that you can take out all oncoming enemies to be able to get to a safe point or a safe break where you can do the reload. So the Lewis gun, again, the biggest contributing factor as well to be able to get the 160 kills. Moving on, what am I basically doing in the majority of the clips and in this game to be able to find the most amount of enemies to actually get kills when using this weapon? As I said, with the Lewis gun, I'm pretty much patrolling this main power position, power route here between C flag, D flag and E flag. It's a little bit of an elevated spot, which gives you a bit of high ground overlooking the main entrance there on C. As you come through here, you get high ground overlooking the enemies that are going to come from D. And if you run over to the other side, of course, you've got that, perfect corner building, corner room, elevated spot that is overlooking E. So 3 absolutely perfect spots, slap bang in the middle of all those flags, which allows you to basically cut off all the movement of enemies between those flags without really needing to move that far. So in effect, you're doing way more time shooting and therefore possibly getting kills, and less time running around, trying to find enemies and trying to get kills. And this also is lowering my chance of dying a lot while getting caught out, not being behind cover, being in an unadvantageous position, and of course being caught out while running and not being able to pull my gun up very fast. Okay, so that pretty much covers the main thing I was doing to find kills, and I guess I would add to that as well, as I always say, C flag is the main biggest power position on the map, where you'll always find enemies whether your team has got the flag or not. Enemies are always going to be going there to attack it or going to be there defending it. So C flag and that D flag area, you're pretty much always guaranteed to find a lot of enemies and therefore increase your chances of getting, more kills. So for the last, there's still, 8 minutes left of this video, but I want to dedicate 2 minutes to one main tip for the gadget, which I like to use on support a lot quite lately, and that is going to be the AP mine. Now, the AP mines, I see a lot of people don't use them, a lot of people do use them, but use them incorrectly. Now, the AP mine is pretty underrated. I know it's a very annoying gadget to be coming up against when you're running around the map yourself and an enemy puts them down, but for yourself using it, firstly, not only is it a good way to get an additional 1 to 5 kills per game, even if you don't care about placing them in the right positions, simply just chucking them down when you have them, enemies will run over them throughout the course of the game, and it will get you an extra 1 to 5 kills, which will be enough to push you up towards that 100 kill mark if that's what you're going for, or even push you towards your goal tally that you want to go for, that you've set yourself in terms of amount of kills. So again, the AP mines will allow you to get an extra 1 to 5 kills per game, no matter whether you strategically position them or not when you're placing them down. But in addition to this, there are so many other benefits of using the AP mines. Now, with the support class, generally, there's not really any guns. Maybe the FG42 is the best example that you can really run around, run and gun, and be aggressive with. Even with the FG42, although, it's a fast fire rate, it's got light in stock, it has only got 20 rounds, and you can't constantly heal up. So it's never really recommended with support as the main playstyle to be running around, running and gunning. The main thing with support, of course, is going to be able to defend or hold down a position or area really well, with high ammo in the case of the Lewis gun. So, When you're doing this, the two AP mines which you can get allow you, while you're trying to hold down a position, like I am here, I could put an AP mine down behind me on the first entrance, and I could put a second AP mine in the hallway, as the second main entrance into the main area here, where I'm looking out the window and turning my focus and attention away from those two different areas of potential threat that are going to try and come and get me. So the AP mines firstly will act as a sound trigger if someone sets them off, which will indicate you to for an enemy being there or being near, which will give you extra time to react and turn and take them on. Secondly, even though the majority of the time the AP mine won't kill the enemy, it will do probably 50 to 80 damage, which will allow you, again, when that enemy tries to run in and push your area, they're going to be damaged. You're going to, even if you turn late and enter the gunfight late, you're still going to have a very good chance, or even most of the time, an advantage of killing them, because they're going to already be damaged a lot, and you're only going to need 1 or 3 bullets to kill them and finish them off. Again, a damage indicator that pops up on your screen from your AP mine is also going to be a visual aid, which tells you that an enemy is nearby or is in a certain location wherever you've put your AP mine down. And of course, it will slow the enemy down as well, less likely to continue pushing in onto you if they do get damaged, because obviously they're going to want to heal up before pushing into an area where they know you are. And of course, when they get damaged, they'll know that I know they're there, so they're less likely to push in on you. And second of all as well, enemies, if they want to avoid damage from the AP mines, have to lie down flat on the floor, which again is also going to slow them down for a second or two and gives you additional time to turn and react to the threat that is coming from the direction, where you put down the AP mine. Now, I think I've waffled quite a lot there, but hopefully you get the point that the AP mine brings so many advantages to the playstyle of the support class in general. And as you can see there's my example of literally pretty much 10 enemies almost on screen, including 2 or 3 shooting me in the back, all at the exact same time. And that's the absolute swarms of enemies which I was facing in this game. And as I said at the start of the video, that's why this game was balanced, because they were all pushing around freely together, capturing pretty much 1 flag, maximum 2 flags at a time, which allowed me to freely run around the map, a lot of times getting into flanks or advantageous positions because they were all on, one side of the map together. So again, that's, I guess, an additional point to the start of the video, where there was a massive advantage to me here of the enemy team playing like that. And lastly, I would add about the impact grenade. The impact grenade has a similar effect to the AP mines in that if you know you're getting pushed by a high TTK weapon, or fast time to kill weapon, such as a ZK, a Type 2A, or even players that are using the shotgun, using the impact grenade just as they're pushing you is enough to do, again, 50 to 80 damage and allow you to instantly pick them off with 1 or 2 bullets before they can insta-kill you with their ZK or their shotgun. In addition, if you do, again, partial damage to an enemy who then goes and hides behind cover and is going to try and heal up, the impact grenade is a perfect, thing which you can use to finish them off, because it blows up on impact, so they don't get any time to react. And again, is another massive tool to use in the support class, which you don't get in any other class on Battlefield 5. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. There's only 2 minutes left, unfortunately, but if this video does hit 40 likes, I will drop a full no commentary gameplay later on in the week. So please smash a like for me, and I'll see you on the next video.